Is this it? Yeah, this is it.
Somebody says that. I want to be your man. I want to be your man. Alicia.
Alicia, nice to meet you.
Alicia said what?
She says that.
Oh. Okay. All right. So we'll get into it a little bit. We're gonna get into
Yo, hit that super chat, y'all. Yo, we did 5 joints. Easy on our
hit the super chat, but don't ask any questions.
we're gonna get into Lent. We'll get into Lent, and then from there set it off into why 40. What's happening here? The period of prayer and fasting in preparation for Easter is 40 days long, but there are 46 days between Ash Wednesday and the first day of Lent in the Roman Catholic liturgy calendar. Why 40 days long? What does that have to do with anything?
No.
Okay, we're going to get into
40 days and 40 nights.
this concept of 40 was copied into many aspects of the Bible, which I'll just show an image of. We have 40-day fast and 40 nights in Matthew 4:2, Matthew 1:3, 1:13, Luke 4:2. We have after the resurrection, the disciples, Jesus appears to the disciples, and 40 days, Acts 1:3. We have 40 silver bases in Exodus 26. We have 40 lashes in Deuteronomy 25. We have the prophet Ezekiel lies on his side for 40 days in Ezekiel 4:6. We have King David reigns for 40 years. We have, of course, Noah with 40 days and 40 nights. Yay. So where does this 40 come from? What's happening and how does it tie into? What is the origins of it? Because it has nothing to do with what the church is telling you about.
Facts.
Okay. So we're going to get into Asar over here. Okay. Anybody who has the introduction to the Book of the Dead with the introduction on page 6, we're going to find out that one of Asar's name is Un-Nefer. Un-Nefer. We're going to look closely at the Un symbol, and we're going to see two symbols here. One is going to be a rabbit, and one is going to be something that looks like the letter M, but it's actually waves, and it's actually water. It's Osiris's name, Un-Nefer. There's actually a chapter in the Book of the Dead called Osiris Un-Nefer the Great. Un-Nefer with Abitu. So we see that Osiris's name, one of his names is Un-Nefer. Over here on plate 2 of the Book of the Dead, the Purim Haru, it says Tua Asar Un-Nefer Neter Iib Abtu Sutin, which is in adoration of Osiris Un-Nefer. Here we look again and we see the rabbit and we see the water. Un-Nefer. Asar symbol and his name was actually a rabbit and the symbol of water. When you look at the symbol of water, if you square out one of the sections of the symbol of water, this becomes the letter M, which created the Hebrew word meme and the Arabic word letter meme, which means water, and it equals the number 40. Okay. So Asar was the fertile rabbit, growth, sexuality, and water, the key of all life, whose waves became the letter M, which was 40, which in Kemet was Futu. Futu is how you said 4 are 40, and the word Futu means waters of the Nile. Aset's name had the M in it, which was 40, and Futu is 40, and Futu is water, and it has the rabbit in it, which represents fertility and sexuality. All right, let us continue.
Because it's springtime.
This rabbit symbolizes sexuality because the rabbit is known as one of the most fertile. As a matter of fact, when you get horny, as they say, horny is another term that comes from Kemet. They can't explain why horny is a whole other class, but horny, they say, man, these kids you're humping like a rabbit. You're breeding like a rabbit. Rabbits breed extremely fast. They're the fastest breeding mammal. Rabbits, and maybe right afterwards is rats. But rabbits are humping everything. So rabbit was a symbol in Kemet of erection, and a male's erection to rise up. So that's why when you look at the rabbit symbol right here, the unt, you'll see in the Purim Haru, the oldest writing of spirituality, on page 28, we see that unt means rising up, to erect. Erect something. When somebody asks me in the chat room, how do you say I am what I am? It's nuk, pu nuk. That pu means what it is or something that is. And when you take the word pu and put it in front of unt, you get the word punt. Punt is the ancient land of Somalia, and it means that which is that which is Osiris. Osiris's name was Unt, and that's why the Kemetians say that we came from the mountain of the moons where the god Happy dwells. And when you trace that all the way down, you get into Somalia or Ethiopia, which was the ancient land of Pu. The land of the land of Osar, which was the land of resurrection or the land of erection, because like I showed earlier, erection was the fertility, the hardened penis, the only way that you can create another human being. So Asar, who is known as the
This is great.
Asar, who was known as a fertility deity, he was called or Unt, which meant the rising up, and that's why when you see down here on chapter 17 of the Purim Haru, we see Osar, You see the rabbit? It's unt, and unin, and it means to rise up. Rise up. You see that? And then we go over here, right? The name Asar was It meant erect or rise. Fertility is the rabbit, and water, and water. The word for penis was hen, and penis and water and plow and fertility are all associated with each other, because the word ma'ah, as in ma'at, is the symbol of a plow. Because remember, when I began this class, I broke down how the Kem bird means to dig into something, to get to the truth, to dig into something. The ma'ah symbol is a plow. That's why when you look at my beard, and I have this, my beard is painted in a certain way. This is actually the symbol of ma'ah. It was actually a plow that farmers held, and they dug into the ground to plant a seed. Right? So it's symbolic of fertility and also passing on knowledge and information. That's why I say, let me plant a seed in your head. Let me plant. He planted a seed, because you're planting something that's going to grow. That is fertility. So when you look at the symbol here for the word for phallus, which is penis, you see an ejaculating penis.
And then Oswald Bates. I just got to say that. Go ahead. Oswald Bates, you got to just put him on the side. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oswald Bates, you just go in there. Just keep going.
Okay.
We're gonna play him. We
Okay.
play that
So
right after
you see here.
You remember Oswald Bates?
I don't know.
Oh, you got a giant laugh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's our favorite one.
I was going to also add, it's also why the Playboy bunny is the bunny rabbit for the logo for Playboy.
Yes.
Because it's sex.
That's exactly what it is.
You got to pull.
Exactly.
Yeah, just have him
So
on the
now-
side waiting.
Look, so you have the erected.
You
have the erected penis, which is the henen. But when you look at the symbol here, you see an ejaculating penis. You see the ma'ah symbol. That's a plow, as in to plow into the ground, or also to plow into the woman.
Plow. Yeah, plow.
To plow into the woman. That's why a woman's vagina was called a dike. A dike is a thing that a plow makes.
Wow.
Yeah, a woman's vagina was called a dike. That's where they get the term dike from. Is dike? Yeah.
What about
and
hoe?
The man was and the hoe, and the man was the bull. So when they reverse sexuality,
Oh,
they make
Wow.
the woman who acts like a man, they make her a bull dyke. So now we'll look at the thing that creates the dike, which is the ma'at symbol, and you see the water symbol there, which was a part of Un's name, the ejaculating penis, and that is the phallus. And it says here the phallus is of who? Asar. Asar associated with the penis, otherwise said as Henen, which is the phallus. And when we read down, it says, spreadeth thy hair, I scatter it upon the forehead of, and here we go, Unin, which is Asar, and his mate, his wife, name is Aset. Look at the symbols of Aset, and what do you see? In the middle here, you see an egg.
Oh, shit.
You see the egg? So here you have the penis. You have the penis here, fertility. You have the rabbit here, and the letter M and the waves, fertility. And then you have his wife, which has the fertility egg. And there you come up with this. You come up with... you come up...
You didn't hear the sound effect. Go ahead. AD is funny. Right?
You come up with a rabbit and Easter eggs, okay? Why Easter eggs? Because that was one of Aset's name.
Right.
People don't know that when you look at, we're gonna go right to it. Here is when we look in the hieroglyphic dictionary. Right here, we see at the bottom, Ost, which is a place in heaven, Asta. And right at the bottom, we see Astoret. Astoret is Astaroth, the great place in heaven, which was also Ishtaroth, Ishtar, which you see that. Okay, look right there. When you look right here, I'm going to wave my mouse over it. You're going to see a throne, and you're going to see the pur, the house, and you're going to see the loaf of bread. See that? And then you're going to see this. This is the part of the Aset, or the Ishtaroth, Ashtoreth name, and that's why when you go back to where is it? When you go back to Aset's name, which created the word Ishtoreth or Ashtoreth, you see that? You see the throne there, you see the egg there, and you see the loaf of bread. These are feminine symbols because the pharaoh, who was the male, in order to be a pharaoh, he had to sit on the throne. That means he was supported by the woman. The woman's name is Aset, and her literal symbol is a throne, and he has to follow Ma'at, which is another woman. So the rulership of Kemet in the front face was the male, but when you look behind the energy that was ruling it, it's all female symbols, similar to a chessboard. You think the chessboard is run by the pawn? The most powerful player on the chessboard is the queen. The queen can go everywhere, but that's where they get this concept from. Now, we look, and there's the bull's head, which is the forehead. That's the bull. We're getting to that later. But there is the Easter bunny, and now I'm going to show you the original churches that all had sexual rabbits on their church.
And we celebrate this in springtime because the birds and the bees and the flowers are all rising up to start the new year in spring.
Yes, I called this church. I'm going to pull it up right here. I called this church. Here's a church right here. This is Hartford's Cathedral. See this church right here? Old church. These are the old churches that you need to look at and look closely at what's on these churches. And I called them to see, is this a real church? Are these on there? And spoke to them. And when you look at the symbols that are on the church, what do you get? This right here. What's this?
A bunny
With what?
with titties.
What else?
Oh shit! Damn.
This is on the. This is
a phallus.
These
A
symbols.
penis.
These symbols are around the church. You see the bunny with the actual huge black penis in the middle. You notice it's darker.
Oh.
Right. So now we're gonna hold on. We're not done. We're not. We're not done. But this is hold on. Let's get back to it.
Hip hop.
Let me go back. Let me go back to the images on the churches. Let's take a look
Church.
at the churches. Okay. Now we're going to look at the beams of the church, and what do you find on it? Now this is Lincoln Cathedral Church of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Lincoln, Collister, East Walk. And what do you find up in the beams? What's this? A rabbit. You see this? Why is there a rabbit in the beams and the wood of the church? We can keep looking. We're going to keep looking at these old churches here, and keep looking at these sexual symbols that you find in all of these churches here.
To represent when our son, the Son of God, is born again in spring.
And it was representing originally a sar. Here it is again in the church. This is St. Mary's Church. What do you find there? A rabbit hugging something or humping something. You see this? Why is there rabbits all throughout the old churches? Because it represented Osar, because Christianity came from the worship of Osar and Aset, and they took these principles and they kept them in the old churches, echoing them forever.
Lord's Son.
Yeah. It's Dave Flores.
But that's perfect thing to say because that's exactly what we're talking about.
They echo them forever and ever. Oh, by the way, so the word
Pulling the rabbit out the hat.
we're gonna look
That's
up
fire.
if you're Spanish. Let me see. Let me just look up.
I wonder if that's where rabbi come from.
Oh.
We're gonna go to.
Órale, Holmes!
Very good stuff.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland, Master K said
Oh yeah, follow the white rabbit.
one pill makes you stronger.
Going down the rabbit hole.
And this was the symbol of water, and that's why when you look up kundes, kunis, and kunta, right, and cunt, all these words tie back. If you're Spanish, all these words tie back into the word rabbit. When you pull up the cunt, you'll see it comes from Gwen, which is woman, which is from gu, which is where the word God came from, which is water, and it also is the hollow place, which was the woman's vagina. So, I mean, we can keep going on and on, but the origins of Easter or Ishtaroth goes back to the worship of Osar and the rabbit and the waters, and this is why 40 became an echoed number all throughout the Bible, and 40 was also the number of Enki. Enki's name was Ea, which means Lord of the Water, and his ranking system amongst the Anunnaki was 40, and he was the god of the water. He was the one of the flood in the Bible story, and he was the god of the water. 40. That's why it says it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, the same time that the Nile floods take place. It's all echoed story. That's a breakdown right there. And if KP, you want more, I mean,
That was hard.
so that's it. I'm gonna stop.
No pun intended. That was crazy. Yo, you got it. You're not gonna play Oswald. You got to play it right.
I'll play at the very
He
end.
don't, yo, he can't.
We get a copyright for that.
All right. So Oswald, who remember the character Oswald from Living Color? Remember he was locked up in jail. He was like,
I haven't. Where he were.
right.
They use that as a meme to mock guys that just make up. They have
Yeah.
knowledge, but they're just making up
Yeah.
things. So it shows this guy in
Exactly.
jail. Yeah.
Exactly. That goes so good with the all the sect, the sect because it's Easter. So he's always like, yeah.
Yeah,
the phallus.
Oswald
the-
Bates. But
Yeah.
okay,
So, yeah, man, that was crazy. Crane. We can start the. I know we was talking about the Ibs bird, and you was gonna break down something about We was talking about what's the name of that bird?
the Bennu.
Yeah.
We may have to get in that next.
Yeah, next time. Yeah, I'm tired. Yo,
Next
listen. Thanks, James. James said the best podcast, man. We going, man. We try our best. And the thing is, it's just all real. The real will remain.
And these did you find that guy, the astrologer? It's a really quick. I just wanted to really just.
Yeah, it's right here.
Where is it? The astrologer. Okay, so just to end off with this,
Right.
I want to use what people say to also teach people how to speak to people, understand debate tactics, and also understand how the mind works. So we'll look at this person's, and plus he paid money, so I want to read it. But he said, this is the same one pushing astrology. He said, there is no papyrus on the Mer, which is pyramid, the Mer's construction, just like there aren't any papyruses on the science of the stars, right? So when you make a statement, this is called, this is like circular kind of reasoning. It's when you say something, and then you say, just like. So I don't know if this was in response of me saying, where's the ancient writings on the science of the star, of the astrology? I said, where's the ancient writings of it? So maybe that's a response to this. But when you say something, you can't say just like. That's assuming the answer. In a debate, you would actually lose. So you can't say this happens, and then you say just like. And that's called circular reasoning when you have the answer in the origin of the statement when it hasn't been verified.
Right.
So you can't say, I go to the store just like Killah Priest goes to. The
Right.
reason why
I know. Yeah,
we don't we have to speak very clearly.
Be
when
careful.
we- when we-
So being careful what you relate to.
Right. So like when AD, so when you said, so for example, AD had said that a lot of the information is buried in the Vatican and other places.
Sacred knowledge.
Right. Now there may be information in the Vatican. Right. We don't know particularly that this specific thing is there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when we let's say people say there's a lot of things buried under the Vatican.
Yeah.
Then they say, but nobody that we know has seen them.
So,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So therefore, if nobody has seen them, we don't know the precise things that are under there. Something may be under there, but we don't know that this precise thing is under there. So when you make a
Rudolph
statement,
knows it's under the
Doctor
Vatican.
Strange knows.
Right.
So-
Right.
He
Well,
read the
Say
books.
anything.
right. So when we make a statement, we have to say, you know what? We've heard that things are under the Vatican. It would be nice to know exactly what's under there.
Yep.
And just so we can't make,
real.
we have to be very, very precise. When I teach and research these things and put them together and show you page numbers and papyruses and dates and linguistics and things, this takes a long time.
Not that 5-minute debate with Sue took to dig up that stuff from the computer.
Yeah, right there.
It
then
was
and
like that only took a day.
Right. No, he did it right there. I saw him. No, he did. Rasul looked up. He typed it. I saw him type it into YouTube, and it pulled up on YouTube right there in the debate. So
Right.
it takes hours and hours. It takes a long time to dig and look for actual facts. And as a scientist in this knowledge, you have to say, you know what? On this particular fact, I just haven't found this yet.
Right.
So I'm going to say, I haven't found it yet.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what it is. But we can't say that somewhere the Kemetians have these astrology and it's hidden information, just like
Yeah.
the writings of the pyramids are hidden.
Right. So they stake it. They stating something that's not even a fact.
Yeah, we don't even know about the pyramid one. We don't know about that one. So now they're stating another fact that's just like another fact that hasn't even been verified yet. Two layman's theories, because the theory is actually different, but layman's theories, and then we just write off with that instead of just saying, you know what, I haven't never seen it.
Yeah,
And
it's,
I'm
it's
going to
good.
look for it.
It's good that we have these discussions because whether you believe them or not, it's important to have these conversations for everyone at home to decipher.
Please go research.
What you take, what you know.
Please.
Some people might take bits and pieces. Some may not agree with certain things,
Yes.
and like seek the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Because some people are not even looking for certain knowledge, and it falls upon them. But then sometimes, do you know what I mean? People won't realize if they search for something, they can find out more than they even expect.
Right.
And that's